Topics busted. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy is. But it say live and level, live and level. We on the MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. Let's go ahead and jump in. It sounds kind of funny, but anyway. What's up, folks? What's good?
Yo, what's crack-a-lacking?
D2K, welcome to the Shizzo. This is episode 178, What the State of Play. We're here to talk about games, but before we get into that, who's playing the game, actually? Somebody, I hear all, but...
you hear that? My bad. Yeah. I'm trying not to die.
What you playing?
Blaster Master 02.
Oh, so y'all try... So, hold up. So, you don't tell me you got online, Keith?
No.
No. Okay. K-Bump, you got online on the Switch now?
I got it today.
What you got? What you dropped for it?
What you mean when I dropped for it?
You would have to spent that $19.99?
No, bro. See, you don't be reading stuff I be sending you in the chat.
The whole thing. That was you didn't even catch it.
Free cents, brother. I got free cents. That's how much I paid for it. Free cents. I got 3 months right now. In 3 more months, I'm gonna go back and give me 9 more months of free Nintendo online because, from what I hear, that's about how much it's worth.
Boy,
dude. Well, first of all, don't do that. Okay, Bun. Don't do that. Don't do that. Especially at the state of play.
I'm just saying that's what I heard on the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna find out myself on the streets. That's what I heard.
It's definitely trash, but don't do that.
so I can't trash. You know what? You one of them dudes. You one of them dudes.
What's up, D2? Can you hear me?
Still.
Don't let me.
No,
can y'all hear him?
No, I can't hear him. I don't think he.
Okay.
I don't know if he's talking or not. I can't hear him either.
All right, I was going to say, is it me again? Oh, let me go tell my family to quiet down a little bit.
No problem. So what's up? What's been up with you, Keith? While Level go handle his business, bro. What's been up with you, man?
Man, today was just a good day. Man,
Ice Cube it?
I don't know. My energy was right. I was feeling good. The sun was just right. The temperature was right. What happened? D2K must have dropped. Everything was like, it was a beautiful day, man. Just blessed to be here.
He is back.
It was a rainy day. Out
y'all had rain? Man.
Oh, man. It was just lightning, thunderstorms, flash flooding, just all the above, bro.
Man.
Welcome to the show, Alan Steed. We didn't get any rain down this way, so that's interesting. We ain't but a few hours away, so y'all got rain like that, bro?
Yeah, bro. It was pouring, man. I mean, it was coming down, like for real.
Okay. Now, if you listen to live, let us know, man, so we can send you a shout out live on air. But I want to talk about something. I got a chance to go out and do I sound like I'm echoing?
Not really.
Yeah, it does sound. It sounds a little bit like
spacious.
Yeah. Like you're in a big room.
What about now? Do it sound the same now?
It's slightly better.
What
Slightly.
about now? I don't know. I'm trying to
That's the
fix it.
same. That's the
It's
same.
the same. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what it is. Anyway, I'm just having all type of issues. But I got a chance to see Spider-Man uh enter the Spideyverse.
Into
Into the Spider-Verse. And I'm just gonna say, man, this movie was freaking trash. I mean, just a trashy, awesome movie. This movie was great. This is probably the best animated movie. This is one of the best animated movies I've ever seen.
now,
And
I will be careful with that because I think I said that when I saw it, and someone looked at me and said Lion King, and I said, "Oh, my bad, you're right."
I said one of, I didn't say the best. I said one of the
Okay,
best.
okay.
And hold it. Go ahead and talk again, man. I gotta fix this. This is annoying. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
Lion King. Go ahead.
right, I said that. I said I said, "Man, this is the best animated movie I've ever saw." And someone looked at me and was like, "Lion King, bro." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, you're right. I can't." I can't just shoot out my Mufasa like that. I mean, that was an amazing movie, so I got to take myself back. But I
So,
know you've seen this movie too, Keith.
yeah, I have, and it was amazing. There were moments where I was like, they could have did better, but overall, it was an amazing.
Like what moments, bro? Like to me, I seriously thought this was one of the one of the most one a flawless movie as far as the people. One thing, the people playing the voices were absolutely spot on in every single voice.
True.
Every single voice actor was spot on. I don't. There was to me, it wasn't a single weak link in the voice acting. As far as the plot, I thought the plot was on point, man. I didn't really see any weak links with the plot. I thought the visuals were off the chain. It was I saw it in 3D, so it was absolutely. I don't know if you saw it in 3D.
I
3D
didn't,
Keith.
but here's the thing. Like when I was watching it, it seemed like there was like a outline or something like that, and I was like, because I took my son, and I was like, I didn't not order, I didn't get 3D. So why do I feel like there was like an outline? And maybe that was just the art style. It was kind of weird, but like you said, it was man, it was a gorgeous movie. Uh, Definitely one of the best animated. Like I said, I still think that there was some point. Okay, I'm about to die. I still think that there was some points in the movie where I thought, could have been a little bit stronger, but overall, it wasn't enough to make you.
Help me out, man. Which parts?
I'm be honest with you. I have to watch that again.
Okay, okay. So I watch it. I've watched it like in 3 times in the past 3 weeks,
Uh-huh.
something like that, man. It's just to me, it's just like I I love the way I was familiar with Spider Gwen, but I wasn't, and I thought that was her hair style in the comic books.
Uh-huh.
But when I went back in the comic books and looked at it, she had this long hair, and I'm like, whoa! You telling me in the movie they did something different and it worked, right? And
Yeah.
the hairstyle they did in the movie, I thought was dope, man. And I was
Can
like,
y'all hear
wow,
me?
yeah, bro,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I fixed it. I figured out. I got two mics and I had the wrong mic hooked up, so it was my booth mic picking me up from across the room.
Okay, yeah, it
That's
sounds
why I could
much
hear
better.
everybody in the background. I was like, God, man, I can hear everything going on in here.
Yeah, it
All
sounds
right,
much better.
so yeah, go ahead. So I
But
heard you.
I was talking about it before you come in and cut me off and like
Oh,
it's your
go ahead.
show or something.
Go ahead and finish what you were saying. So what I was saying was, no, go ahead, bro.
No,
Go ahead, man.
I was just talking about one of the creative choices that they made was Gwen Stacy's hair, because in the comic book she actually doesn't have that hairstyle, and I surprised myself by seeing that they made this choice, changed the character, changed their hairstyle, and it was even better than the original. And I was like, wow, man, they just hit it out the park. And I was talking about the voice actors as well, how there was no weak link in any of the voice actors, and I didn't even know that was Nicolas Cage until afterwards. That was just
Which
Which one was Nicolas Cage?
I guess y'all didn't know either.
I didn't.
Spider-Man Noir. That's Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Whoa, nah. The older Spider-Man or the
black and
old one.
white.
The black and white one. Yeah, the black and white one.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that. No, that didn't sound nothing like Nicolas Cage.
Right. And you know the guy who played Kingpin, that's Liv Schreiber. The guy that played Sabretooth.
From the X-Men.
Yes. You didn't know that either.
No, I wouldn't have knew that one, K-Bone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. Like that's why I said, man, the voice actors hit it out of the park, man. It was to me, and I'll say this proudly. It was the second best movie I saw last year.
Let me do this real quick.
Which means that beats out it was even better. It was Avengers and then on this movie, and then you can put back Black Panther in there. But this beats out Black Panther. To me, it was way better. It was amazing.
Aquaman?
Welcome to the show, Zim.
Aquaman was this year, wasn't
it? No, Aquaman was last year, man. Ain't nobody putting Aquaman in they top 3.
Hey, Aquaman was good, man.
Y'all didn't even let me. I said, welcome to the show, Zim. Oh, okay. I just was making sure. So you said somebody said it brought up the Lion King when talking about the animation of this movie?
No. The reference of saying this, me saying this is the best animation movie I've ever saw. And
right, that's what I'm saying.
And someone said, no, this isn't the best animation. The Lion King was the best animated movie. And I said, right, gotcha. This is the second best animated movie I've ever saw.
I mean, I wasn't really putting best. I'm just saying up there amongst the best. Like, it's amongst the best animated movies I've ever seen. Now,
stop the press. Let's stop
the
press. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna do my Kanye. Before I let you finish, I just want you to check the chat.
What's that? You going out? You going in and out? I can't hear what you
chat.
Okay.
I said just check the chat on what Sim just said, and then you can continue on with your conversation. That's all
man,
I gotta say.
Sam, don't make me boot you out of here, man, with this statement, man. That's last week, bro. We're not going. Now let me see what he said. He says, "What's good, my people? Hope everyone is good and well. Oh, K-Bum, I enjoyed Captain Marvel. Haters going to hate. An enjoyable movie, nevertheless. Stop it, man. Stop.
Slap yourself.
Hey, thanks, Sim. I appreciate it.
Slap yourself.
Stop it, man.
Right? He hit us with the remix.
You lucky I ain't got my other thing. Where is it at? Hold up. Let me get in here. I ain't load all these up.
Man, continue, man. Go ahead, bro. Continue.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Don't do me like that on the show, man. Anyway, so no, I was just saying I think it's one of the best animated movies of all time. I'm not saying it's better than Lion King. For what Lion King did in the time that it did it, I would give Lion King the edge. But this movie had me on the edge of my seat, man. I was blown away by the storyline, the acting, the fact that they did not what I thought was going on. The reason let me explain why I didn't go see the movie and why I wasn't as urgent to go see the movie. When I found out that the Spider-Man was going to be this version Spider-Man, I thought when I started seeing all the other Spider-Men and women and pigs and whatever else, that they were doing that because they didn't believe he can stand alone as a black or colored version Spider-Man. So when I saw that other Spider-Mans was in the movie as well, it killed my morale and want to go see it. I was like, I just catch it when I catch it. But if you think of like me, you can rest assured that that's a false thought. They did not diminish him.
Nobody was thinking like you.
No. I talked to a friend of mine.
Nobody was.
Ministry.
Okay, yeah.
He felt the same way when I was telling him about it. He's like, man, I was concerned that when I saw all the other Spider-Men show up, that they was saying that he might not be strong enough to be in the movie by himself. So, and that's how I felt. Like, why do we need, when we give this dude the opportunity, this might be me on my, I don't want to come off like
I think you're on your page.
Yeah, I'm trying not to sound that way, but I felt like that. But
you coming
I
off
know
that
I
way.
am, ain't I? I apologize to anybody.
Trying to help.
I know.
Trying to help you back down.
Welcome to the show, The Truth. I did feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Inside, I'm just being honest. I ain't trying to throw no.
But it was to me. It was a Spider-Verse. The fact that it's Spider-Verse, I know that there's other. It's supposed to be other Spider-Men.
Yeah, I didn't get
and
that.
Women.
And so to my fairness to me, I didn't know. I didn't take that understanding. So, but yeah, you're right. So that should have made me understand the plot, but I didn't. But even in that, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. They handled him well, and to me, they made me appreciate him as a character. I didn't really know much about him, but how they handled him, and then the end, oh my God, bro! My kids, everybody, we was all floored. Dude, you saw what I was saying in the hangout, man. I was literally blown away by this movie. Like, I don't think this movie got enough raves. I knew what you and Keith had said.
I mean, it did win an Oscar too, so
still didn't get enough. It didn't get enough, man. But I will agree. It was. I won't say it was better than the Black Panther, but it was better than the Black Panther. Put it like that. It was a good movie, man. A really good movie. Anyway. So,
I mean, to be honest with you, I could literally take an entire podcast and break down that entire movie into its essence, because I've actually been watching the behind the scenes on how they discovered the how they wanted to do the art, and how they wanted everything to be so much like a comic book that they even did the Ditko lines and Ditko circles and the patching and the dots, and it was just so much that they did to make it feel like a comic book that they're actually trying to pattern that technology that they did to do that. And also one key thing to pay attention to when you watch it again, and how everyone is drawn slightly different. And they said I read up about it. It was almost like making 5 different movies, because they had to, whenever the noir Spider-Man was in there, he was all drawn in a certain way, and the Penny Parker was drawn in a pure anime type of way, and then the pig was drawn like at a Looney Tune.
Hold up. Okay, Bob. Welcome to the show, Phoenix Star 5000. We're talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Enter the Spider-Verse. Is that right? I say into, but it's Enter the Spider-Verse. I got the chance to see it. I bought it. Okay. 4K. Now, I don't have the OLED that my boy got. You know what I'm saying? But my TV held his own. It did what it had to do. And I enjoyed it, man. So anyway, Keith, you got anything else you want to add to this before we move on, D2K?
Yeah, man. You want to talk about the Spider-Man or just period?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Oh, no, I got it.
What else? D2K, you got anything you want to say to Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse?
No, I haven't seen it.
Are you talking? If you are, you still having issues. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear him.
You can hear him.
Yeah.
And then, okay, hold up. I'll be right back. I'll fix this on my end.
All right. I know before we get into the topics and stuff like that, but Jordan Peele, I don't know if anybody's seen Us yet. Great movie. But he had a comment that said that he didn't want to cast any white leads. He was like, I already seen that story. And I was trying to see if y'all have read that or seen that,
Hello?
and if y'all had comments on it.
Yeah, I did read up. Yeah, I heard you, Level. I did read up on that, man.
Say something, D2.
I don't think he can hear you now.
I still can't hear him.
D2K.
What about you, Keith?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Y'all, you can hear him, K-Bun?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay, I'll be back. I'll be back again. Hold up. Right,
well, yeah. Go ahead, K-Bun. You were saying?
No. I was saying I said I did hear about that. So you kind of asking how you feel about that?
Yeah, I was trying to see if y'all had an opinion on it.
I actually do. So I sat down and I looked at it, and I tried to dissect what he was saying, what he's really trying to say. And I'm saying to myself, is that racist, right? And I'm like, well, is that the same thing if a white producer came and said, I'll never cast a black person as a lead? And I just kind of said to myself, to be honest, a lot of these producers think that way. They just don't say it. So that's why, and that's the reason why we have to have these black directors to portray the black experience. And I'm putting Coogler. I'm putting him in the same thing because he does an excellent job of portraying the black experience. And he's in a position, the same thing that Kevin Hart did. He's in a position to help those who may have been looked over because of the way they look, to give them an opportunity, to give them a platform to do their thing and to shine. And I don't see that as being racist. I don't see that as being not liking white people, because people need to remember he's mixed, for one thing.
He is mixed, yes.
He is. No. Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele.
Y'all talking about us now?
No, we're talking about his comment. He made a comment that he would not want to cast. He never wants to cast a white lead in this movie.
I wouldn't say never, but he's not.
Let me see if I can hear these other two. Say something, Keith.
Yo.
D2. I still can't hear him.
Okay, go ahead. I can't hear him either. I don't think he's talking.
D2K.
Say something, D2.
He can hear me. It's me.
Keith?
I can hear him.
I can't hear him now.
I can't hear him.
Okay, so
I heard him.
I still don't. I'm gonna be right back.
All right. It's gonna be a fun podcast.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't see that as being racist, because you have a platform to put. Now, if it was, and that's different with being the minority. Like, so let's just say Jordan does that, and every movie Jordan produces, he makes an all black lead. To say that, so he makes 4 movies, a movie every 3 years, 2 years. So that's in the matter of 9 years. That's 3 parts that a white lead didn't get. I don't think Hollywood's hurting. I don't think Hollywood's going to be hurt by not getting 3 parts in the total of 9 years.
I agree.
And I don't see that. Like, I really try to look at it as honestly as I could, and I did not. After I sat down and I weighed, I did not have an issue with that comment.
My take on it is the fact that he has to make that comment is speaks volume in and of itself. Like, he has to make this comment to say he doesn't want to cast a white guy because he's seen that movie. Why do you think he has to make that comment? Because we have a predominantly white cast, white male or female leads in movies. And the fact that he has to make that comment, like, almost kind of like saying, don't expect it. Don't when you see my movie, don't even question, like, oh, he only casts black people. I'm already telling you that. I already told you that, so you ain't gotta even guess. But yeah, we can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying I didn't. I'm just catching what y'all was talking about. I'm just trying to make sure I can hear everybody.
Okay.
D2, say something if you haven't said anything. Please let me hear D2. Can y'all hear D2?
D2K.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
You heard it?
Okay. No, I didn't catch that statement by Jordan Peele, but I understand it. But at the same time, that's always going to generate some tension because you were saying that to the majority culture, and the majority culture expect things to, not all, but in most cases, they, is always goals and focus on the majority. So to say it and do something from a minority standpoint, that's always going to be controversial. So, but no, that's cool. How was the movie though itself? Then we can get into what you've been gaming on.
Movie was good. Had a lot of layers. Was not scary.
Okay.
So if you go and think like, I don't want to be scared, you're not gonna be scared. Not a scary movie at all to me. But the movie definitely had a lot of layers, a lot of things you can unpack. The acting was fantastic, especially how you say her name, Lupita. Lupita?
Yes, Lupita.
Yeah, she was freaking fantastic in the movie.
She looked freaking fantastic. What you say, Keith? I'm just trying to make sure you.
I said she was fantastic.
I'm joking, man. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying she was fantastic in the movie. This guy.
Let me send a shout out to Dark Sun Rider. Welcome to the show. So anyway, we got our, we always talk about the movies and stuff we have seen at the beginning of the show, but from here, let's go on into what we've been gaming on. I'm gonna start with you, Keith, since you already gaming. We can kind of hear you in the background. What you gaming on, bro?
Right now I'm playing Blaster Master 02. I guess it's the second game in the Blaster Master remake series that they got on the Switch. It might be on other things too. I like these games. Old school. Just got that 2D vibe that I love. And graphics not bad. It ain't God of War 4, you know what I'm saying? But it looks good to me.
Okay. And that's the newest one, right? Or that's the old one?
This is the newest one.
That's the newest one. Okay. Yeah. All right. D2K, what you been gaming on, bro?
I haven't been able to do any gaming because I've been working so much lately.
If you're talking, can y'all hear him?
Yeah, I heard him.
Yeah, I heard him.
Why can't I hear him? Well, just tell me when he's done. And y'all gonna have to.
Are you done, D2K?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, he just said he hasn't really gamed them much.
Level. Okay. Well, go ahead, K-Bum, and I'm gonna try to come back in. Go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, I gave Burnout Paradise a download, the remaster version.
Huh? I didn't expect you to say that.
Because I love the Burnout series, and then I went and got it. And it was $5. It was on sale for $5. So I'm like, $5. I spare $5 for a Burnout Paradise. Yeah, it's bad.
Wow.
So I was trying to remember which Burnout that I hated, and it was Burnout Paradise. That's the Burnout that I just did not like. They tried to go this open world type of thing with Burnout Paradise, and it just didn't work. I don't like it. I'm gonna give it a try. I mean, it's $5, so it didn't break the bank, but yeah, it doesn't feel like Burnout. It's like an open world type of game. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it. So I've been playing. I played that. I'm contemplating trying to get the show, the baseball game. I think I might just bite the bullet and get that. I haven't played that in about 3 years because I used to play it all the time, and it got too similar. It was like the same experience over and over, so I gave it a rest, and probably going to try to pick it back up this year.
Now, you still getting these games via the mail-in service?
Not Burnout Paradise.
Okay.
I said that was $5. I bought that on the store.
I'm talking about the one like you said you're gonna buy the show.
So
or you said you're gonna buy it, or you gonna.
So yeah, if I'm gonna buy the show. I don't know. I think I may end up renting it because I want to play it now, so I don't want to have to send his game back and then wait for it to get in the mail, wait to come back. But I might as well do it because I'll be going out of town anyway. So I'll probably just get it through GameFly. But so I did buy the Division because I did the whole game share with the PlayStation where you can buy it and then split it between two people. And so me and my brother we split the Division.
Wait a minute, hold up. You split it with your brother, but not me? Your brother in the Lord?
But blood thicker than water? Maybe no.
A friend could be closer than a brother.
I like that. Good comeback.
Go ahead, man.
I'll continue now. So I played that. I played 1 or 2 games, Apex Legends. That game is still so much better than Fortnite. And then just a little bit of 2K. But actually, not a little bit. I played a lot this weekend. 2K. So that's
okay.
I'm a gamer now.
As for me, I didn't get a chance to play nothing. I've been fixing cars and changing brakes and getting stuff ready for inspection. So I didn't get a chance to game this week.
Man, y'all still got inspections?
Yeah, bro.
Man,
Missouri ain't letting you get out of those. So yeah. So anyway, I'm like D2K. I ain't done too much gaming this week. I watched a lot of gaming, but didn't do any actual physical gaming. So anyway, say something, D2. I hope I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I heard it.
God, man, I ain't hearing nothing. Okay, anyway, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to go out again. But so let's get into these topics. State of play. How many people got to see Sony's Nintendo Direct? Who got to see it? Who got to check this out?
I didn't see it live, but I did get a chance to catch it.
Okay, did D2K, did he get a chance to see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
He has not seen it.
He has not seen it. Okay, so I got a chance to see it, and I want to talk about it, but I want to start with K-Bum 20 since he's our resident Sony guy. K-Bum 20, what did you think?
Hey, I'm the resident Sony guy, so let me tell you what I think about Sony.
What did you think about State of Play?
All right, quick question. Is how similar to Nintendo Direct was this?
It was close. It was close, but I don't think they pulled it off as good. But that's this their first one, so I wouldn't expect them to.
So if this is similar to Nintendo's Direct, that's probably a good reason why I don't watch them. So everything they showed, they could have. What were they? Let's make a nice compliment sandwich out of this. So I'm gonna say stuff I like. I'm gonna say stuff I don't like. I'm gonna end it with stuff I like. Let's make a compliment sandwich. All right. So I did like the fact that they chose this medium to display VR games. This is way better than showing it at E3 like we truly care to see VR at E3. This is the best medium to show VR games because we really don't want you to waste time doing presentations with VR. All right? So that's the compliment. The meat of it is these videos could have been separate videos that they just released on their website and just say, hey, come watch this. Or somewhere on YouTube and say, hey, Sony has some new videos. I didn't need a continuation of a 15-minute show of videos. Didn't need it. Didn't care for it. The only cool thing, the coolest preview was the Mortal Kombat one. I thought that was pretty cool. That was fun.
You like Days Gone?
I mean, I've seen this though. It's not nothing new other than okay. So what I did see was this. What I saw when I was watching it, I was like, they got me with the Iron Man. I got excited when I saw that, and then they lost me when I saw it was VR. I got excited. Oh man, that Marvel guy. Oh God, what is this?
True.
So yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay. So, what I saw was when I was watching all these games they were showing, and I'm like, nope, don't want to play that. 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 Oh crap! I do love story-driven games. I do want to play Days Gone. Don't want to play that. Don't want to play that. So that was pretty much how the video went. I just a lot of stuff that I thought was, hey, that's cool, but I don't want to play and I don't care for it. And then I guess to finish it, with another what I didn't like, I don't know. I just to me that was time I could have spent just it. You could have just told me, hey, there's a video for this game. Check it out if you want to. There's a video for this game. Check it out if you want to. I didn't care for them to put it all together in a 15-minute show and say, hey, watch all of these because I don't. That's not how I consume my media of for video games. So I don't care too much for it. I probably won't watch another one from beginning to end. I'll probably just catch the highlights on Sports Center or something like that. I don't care about all that.
Okay. All right. Good assessment. D2K.
Well, I hadn't seen it, but a couple of weeks ago I said that this was going to happen before I knew that they were going to definitively do it, but it happened. And it's I think the way I take it is that this is kind of like how when you buy a pair of shoes and they stuff like tissue paper in there just so the shoe don't fall flat. I think that's kind of like what this was. It was just there just to be there, just to say, okay, we established this as a thing now, and then later on we'll go ahead and do it the right way. So I'm not going to put too much into how underwhelming or lackluster it was because this was their first try. They're trying something new, and they really don't have much to talk about right now anyway, and you don't really want to spill too many beans. So we're getting kind of close to E3. So, if they're going to do another one of these, if they're going to have like a Sony digital event at E3, then they're probably saving all their bombs for that. So this was just the way of just taking the car for a test spin, see how it worked out. It wasn't really meant to wow anybody, say, oh, wow, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was just to say, okay, this is the thing. It's kind of like the Xbox event they had last year, and how a lot of people say, oh, that wasn't that overwhelming. It was kind of meh. That was Microsoft's way of just establishing that as a thing. Now we've got our own conference that we can have every year, like Sony has theirs. So, the first time somebody does something, I'll give them a mulligan for that. If it continues to be this bad, then they probably need to pull the plug on it. But I'm not going to trip about it this early in the game.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. Keith.
Okay. After hearing these two cases, I'll agree and say you get a pass because it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But I think the biggest takeaway was VR. Like they're really pushing VR. Like
that was cool to see.
I'm like, what is this about? Like everything was like PlayStation VR. I'm like, are they serious right now? Like, but hey, I thought that was cool. Like K1 said, I thought it was cool that they was doing VR. Wasn't for me. So like K1 said, oh man, they got art. Oh, it's VR. Not for me. And it was a lot of moments like that.
Yep.
And even with Days Gone, I was like, this doesn't look like the PlayStation exclusive level that I'm used to. Like this really doesn't look that good. But
it honestly doesn't. Even the story is kind of
So the whole not conference, but the whole thing was and there was no personality to it. It's like they took a Nintendo Direct and ripped all the heart out of it and just said, "This is what you really want." Yeah, it did.
They Indiana Jones did.
Because they just gave you of course we just want to see the games, but it's like they just gave us games and there was no personality, there was no Sony flair. Like, oh man, I love Sony for this. You know how Nintendo does their little quirkiness, or even Microsoft to a degree does their own little quirkiness. It was just here's the games, and thank you for viewing our first state of play. Blah blah blah. It was so cold.
Yeah. To piggyback on what Keith was saying, I'm going to give him a pass. D2K has made me realize. Well, I was giving him a pass anyway, but I did come in expecting a little bit more, being this being their first one. But at the same time, Let me ask this: is it fair to give him a pass? Let me ask that first.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Because the reason I say that because I know other cats may not get that pass if they was in the same position, but I'm gonna give them a pass. But to me, they just didn't have nothing to show for real. I left feeling like what K-Bum said. All this could have been just uploaded. And I've said this about Nintendo Directs at times when it clearly y'all were just doing a Direct just to do one. But I feel like Nintendo has been doing it long enough to get that benefit to just do a Direct just to do one. But with this one being their first one, I was expecting them to come out with some maybe one or two heavy hitters and a bunch of filler. They came out with a bunch of filler and more filler. And I was like, man, the VR announcements to me didn't do nothing for me. And it was one game they announced, the first person shooter game. It was a shooter game. I don't know what the name of the game was, but it was a shooter. It was a shooter. That game looked kind of interesting. I would go with K-Bun with the Iron Man if it didn't say not actual footage through the whole trailer. So I was like, well, what part of this is actual what I will experience? So I couldn't really rock with that. It just felt like what D2K said, we doing this just to do it. We done it. We had it. I don't like the name. I think State of Play is boring. It's like what Keith said. It's lifeless. It has no flair to it. It has no it's dry. It was dry. The name is dry. And
good old dry cornbread. It
was dry, man. Do you want your cornbread? I ain't gonna throw it under the bus.
I like the name. I mean, it makes this a State of Play. You know, it's a play off the PlayStation name, and it's talking about what's going on right now. I mean, Nintendo Direct, that's one word, but it explains what it is. It's a directly addressing Nintendo fans. And the State of Play, this is the state of the PlayStation.
I get it, but I don't like the name. But I don't have to like the name. I ain't never gonna say I like Nintendo Direct when it grew on me too. It wasn't like I was blown away about Nintendo Direct. I wasn't. So
how about the Wii?
Oh yeah, the Wii took a while.
I still don't like that name.
The Wii took a minute, bro. It took me a while to get to liking it. But okay, so since all of us, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just thinking like you gotta tell your friend, hey man, what you playing? Man, I'm playing the Wii.
What about when they added the U to it?
The Wii U, that is hilarious.
Dude, when they did that, I was hurt. I didn't even want to call K-Bum or talk to K-Bum when they named that thing Wii U. The Wii U.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, go ahead, D2.
No, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, so what I was going to ask is, since we all kind of say we giving it a pass because it's their first one, I'm kind of feeling like we shouldn't necessarily give one, but I would lean with you guys and give them a pass. What do they need to change and improve for the next one?
They need to just add personality, in my opinion. Show us who Sony is, unless this is who Sony is. But I think that's a good place to go. K-Bomb, you still there? Are you muted? What's going on, bro? This is Sony. We need you here.
I'm letting y'all talk.
No, we want to hear you, man.
I'm being honest, man.
All right, so
okay. I mean, I have my 2 cents about it, but it's totally different.
I'm finna go with what Keith goes.
All y'all gonna say.
I think what was missing was identity. There was no identity. I don't. Okay, let me ask this: does Sony, when it comes to presentations, does Sony have an identity?
Well,
let me ask that first.
Well, that's a good question, because when you think about where they've been over the last 2 or 3 years after E3 shows, they've kind of had a different identity with each show. And the company seems to be kind of in the flux right now. So they could be trying to change their identity into something else. And this may be indicative of the direction they're going, the fact that they did the State of Play in the first place. So I'm not really sure what their identity is at this point. because it's going to be interesting how things going forward with all this stuff changing with Stadia and what Microsoft is doing, where Sony is going and where they're going, what lane they're going to choose to jump in going forward. So I can't really say what their personality is right now.
Okay, and I heard that is Kaz Harai really retiring?
Yeah, he's retiring.
Okay, so he's stepping down. Dang, that's kind of interesting. So, yeah, like to me, I think I'm with D2K in a sense. I felt like Sony had an identity. I thought we said Microsoft was the group that didn't have an identity, but I don't know if Sony has a presentation like Nintendo had Iwata with the direct with you, the hands, the Mario characters behind it, the zany, the corny but lovable,
talking
nostalgic.
To
yeah, like they had their thing. Sometimes it was hit and miss. Like when they came out with that with the E3 presentation where him and Reggie fought against each other. Like they kind of been working on this for a while. Nintendo has always had that. We was used to Miyamoto going on the stage with the Zelda sword and the shield and doing his thing. Nintendo fans kind of get to meet the character of the boss and the folks who represent Nintendo. Have we really, honestly, outside of reading some stats and what they sold, have we really got to meet the character of the people who run Sony? I think we know more about field character than we do Sony. So do they really have an identity? Like, because that's what was missing.
Well, it's one thing. It's hard to pinpoint who is the guy in Sony. For a long time, Reggie was the guy with Nintendo. For a long time, and still today, Phil Spencer is the guy with Microsoft. What's his name? Sean Layden, is that his name?
Yeah.
Layden. I guess he's the guy, but then you had Kaz Hirai who's the guy, and you had Yoshida who's the guy. So it's like, okay, who's who here? And none of those guys really have any personality. It's just there's nothing that stands out where they can stand up and say, "Oh, that's our leader right there." But with Reggie, he had a presence. He had he was a character,
right? And that bled into their presentation, like Reggie's character, Miyamoto's character, Iwata's character, Anuma's character. All this bled into the directs, into the Nintendo events. Like, what's the one? What is that called again? The E3 one.
Treehouse.
No, not Treehouse. The actual direct. They got another name for it though.
The digital event.
The digital event. Like you saw their character bled into the presentation, and that's what shaped what the directs became. And then now we see, even though we might not see a person all the time, even when they go through the quick blast of games, you still have that narrator following that same, even through voice, the narration kind of captures Nintendo's identity, Nintendo's feel, Nintendo's flavor. Whereas Keith brought it up, when the person was talking and narrating the games, it was robotic, it was stiff, it was non-personal. You just listening and okay, we watching another game. It didn't have any connection. It didn't bring you into, unless the game was good, nothing the person who brought you into or the voice that brought you into the game, nothing about that made you pay attention. That's how.
One second. I'm watching this State of Play Sony right now. Five Nights at Freddy's at VR? No.
Do you know? I wanted to talk about that. Do you know how many broken VR heads
Go ahead.
you're gonna have? playing Five Nights at Freddy's, you're gonna have some broken like just shattered.
Check your drawers, dog.
You're gonna have broken TVs. You're gonna have people running out in the street.
That's not a game you put in VR, boy.
No.
I've never played that game, but I've seen cats online play it. It's freaky. It definitely is freaky. But
them jump scares will get you.
K-Bum, jump in here, man, and give us your thoughts, man. What can they do to improve these things?
I'll jump in and say this. Should they? I don't even think that PlayStation gamers care about this kind of presentation. I don't know. Being a PlayStation guy, I don't care about a presentation like this. I don't care about.
That's interesting.
I don't care about the person. I couldn't really tell the people behind the scenes for PlayStations. I don't care. Just show me the games. Like the only person. Remember, PlayStation doesn't have a mascot. PlayStation has no single identity as far as mascot. Nintendo has Mario, and Xbox has Master Chief. There's no guy for PlayStation.
Kratos.
Nathan Drake.
No,
Nathan Drake.
No, the thing is, you're gonna name a couple because there is no one guy. There is no one guy. There is no.
No, it doesn't belong to
them.
I know it ain't no.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that age, and I'm like, why is this thing? Why are we promoting this thing? Like there's no true identity when it comes to Sony, even when it comes to their games.
Story.
So even
story driven.
I mean, story driven, but I'm talking about as a mascot. There's no mascot for Sony. Like, I really don't think.
You keep
and I'm not speaking for all Sony gamers. I don't really know. You see, I'm breaking up.
You breaking up, so we catching every other word. But you saying that?
Let me change my.
So you basically saying because but I can understand you from Nintendo standpoint. Nintendo do got very identifiable mascots: Mario, Luigi, Princess Toadstool, Koopa, or Bowser, or whatever. So I'm with you on that, but I don't think Master Chief is any better than Kratos or Nathan Drake.
I don't know about that.
You think so? I would think Kratos just as popular.
No, I mean Master Chief put Xbox on the map.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with you on that.
That's very heavily weighted on Master Chief. That is the identity of the Xbox.
Do you know how many? I know so many non-gamers that love Halo.
Okay,
non-gamers like females that just said, "Yeah, I have an Xbox just to play Halo." Like, Master Chief is known like that.
But
and,
what does but
he is the mascot though.
All right, I'm with you. So, but even though mascots are no mascot, to me, when I look at Sony, let me. This is what I was expecting to see.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Sony, when it comes to commercials, Sony have some clever commercials, like when the dude will walk in and all the different Sony characters or games that's known to be on Sony devices. Where this is the place to play, that whole aesthetic, that energy, that vibe. This is the hot spot. This is the place. This is the popular club. This is the the jocks. This is the cool kids. Sony had that with no mascot. Why couldn't they interject that feeling that they get in their commercials and that they have always had into this state of play? That's what I'm saying. Why? Because that's what I've always understood. Sony is the cool place. This is where you want to be. This is the place to be. This is where the cool kids are. This is where the real gamers are. This is where the elite gamers are. PlayStation. Why wasn't that? Where was that at in this state of play?
Yeah, I agree with that because I remember the Do You Want It trailer for PS3. That you know what I'm saying, that when they started doing that, that was kind of their big thing to push people to PlayStation. And I remember the butler guy. I forget his name.
Yeah. He was a mascot for a while.
No, I was going to say that if anybody was a mascot, I thought he was more noticeable as far as you can promote as a mascot. Than any of the characters because
they should have never let him go. That was good.
No. They got rid of him because he did a Nintendo ad or he did some kind of
he did.
He did.
He did a commercial, a Nintendo commercial.
Yeah, commercial, and so they dropped him because of that.
That was stupid.
He was great for Sony though.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, I do think we need to pump the brakes just a little bit with this because just for kicks and giggles, I went and I went on YouTube to look at the very first Nintendo Direct, and I guess this is October 21st, 2011. This is very, very, very boring. I mean, it's just Reggie literally staring at you the whole time into the camera, and then they show a game or two, and it's back to him staring directly at you. It's nothing else.
Is that the one where they showed Bayonetta for the first time?
No, this is in 2011.
Maybe I don't remember that one.
Yeah, this is way before that.
Send the link.
Yeah, put it in the link. I'm not saying we shouldn't give him a pass. What I'm saying is, like we say with Nintendo, if we've seen what Sony and Microsoft is doing with online, why can't y'all just do that? It seemed like Sony, like Keith said, they took what Nintendo did and sucked all the life out of it. Like that's really how I felt. I'm not gonna clown them. I'm not gonna joke them. I'm just saying, like, hindsight, looking at it and seeing this might be the platform that they're going to use here for him from here to the near future. What do they need to do to improve it? Because that's what I noticed. What Keith said: the life, the personality, the identity. What we know Sony to be the cool place, the coolness wasn't there. And I'm saying if they interject that into what they did, I think they'd be fine. More games and more coolness.
I said let's just wait and see what happens when they actually have time, because I think this really came about pretty fast too. I think they kind of whipped this together really quickly.
Yeah,
and they didn't really put a whole lot of forethought into it. So I think that if they're going to do like a digital event type thing at E3, then let's look at that and then see where we're going.
I got something I want to ask K-Bum though. Why do you feel Sony gamers don't care about these type? Because I feel like if I'm able to get announcements throughout the year, I would think people would be excited about that.
Well, what I'm saying is that they don't care about a show. Not just information, a show. Like, because that's a different way. There's a difference of just giving me the information, and he say, hey, check this out. This is information for games we have coming out, and actually putting on a show to sit down and watch. So those are two different things.
So you saying Sony fans don't care about a show?
But the
I don't know, man, because not y'all, Lord, forgive me. Let me rephrase that. When I looked at E3 from back in the day, and even the Sony, what was they little conference they used to have at the top of the year? Sony, PlayStation Experience.
I'm referring to this digital type of thing. I love the show when they first showed the PS4 and they did that whole show and they talked about the games, they talked to the developers. Like, that's different than what.
Okay, you just hit the brakes on us. Hold on, K-Bum. No, you cutting in and out.
Like, two totally different things, and the purpose behind videos. There's nothing else to this. It was just videos. You can feed that information in a different way. Okay,
I mean, I was just saying, I know I think for me as a gamer, whether it's on stage, big lights, E3 or Digital Direct or Nintendo Direct, I'm looking forward to it because I'm finna hear some new stuff. I'm finna see some new games. The way they like, it don't have to be a live presentation, anything. Long as you introduce me to some new stuff and it's stuff that's supposed to make me excited and anticipate, I'm all down. And I was just saying I would think that would be the same for Sony fans, but you saying not the case. And
I'm saying they are down for it. They are down for information. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying.
Okay. So what about the state of VR? The Sony fans like VR?
Judging off of this, I don't think so.
There's a small percentage of Sony fans who are happy about VR. That's not the majority of Sony fans. I mean, they like yay that they have it, but they're not slap happy about VR.
Okay, let's let D2K get in here. Then we're gonna wrap this one up and go to the next topic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more or less a universal feeling of meh about VR. It's not even just the Sony fans, but I mean, it's something that's out there, but it's just, it didn't hit the way Sony invested and thought it was going to. So I think it's more or less like, yeah, it's there and it's cool, but whatever.
I think I mentioned VR because that was a predominantly thing that they showed at the conference. I keep saying conference at the stream. So I was just curious.
All right. Now we're gonna give 20 minutes to these next few topics so we can get them all out. Far as not to take too long on each one. So Microsoft, not to be outclassed, they came with their version. It was called ID at Xbox Game Pass, where they showed basically indie titles that will be coming to the Xbox online store, like showcasing new games and developers. Who all saw this?
I think I went back and watched it.
Okay. D2K, did you see it?
It's the first time I'm hearing about it.
Okay, okay. What about you, K-Bomb?
Nah, I didn't get a chance.
You didn't watch. Okay, well, Keith, what did you think about it?
Well, here's the thing. I don't really remember. I just remember them taking too long on one game, and I kind of like fizzled out. I do feel like they mentioned like at least one game that I wanted to see, but on the state of personality, they did have a little bit more personality than they had a lot more personality than Sony. It was kind of more of a kind of like a developer's conversation, and that was kind of irritating because I was like, okay, I like hearing about development, but this is too much. Like y'all spending way too much time on this game. I need to go back to the announcements because I feel like they had a few games that I want to actually play.
They had a few, but they didn't announce a lot of games though.
They did not. You're right.
It wasn't a lot that they announced, and I think that's why they spent so much time talking to the devs and the creators of the titles because they didn't have much to show. But I did like they setup. I like their approach. Kind of, reminded me of when Iwata used to sit down with the creators of stuff and talk to them. I liked how they did it. I liked everything they done. Only thing I would change is add more games. And what you said, Keith, spend less time talking about the game and more time showing it and showing more titles. But overall, I thought it was all right. It could have been better. It could have been longer, but I have a problem with it.
It's funny because it's like they're on the two opposite ends of like a Nintendo Direct. Like a Nintendo Direct is a good balance of both of these streams. Whereas you get a little bit of talking in the Nintendo Direct on some certain games, but not all games. On the Xbox thing, it seemed like it was on all games, and then whereas like on a Nintendo Direct, where you like, man, just show me the games. That's what Sony did. So it's kind of like a mix between both of them. I kind of like the Xbox version though.
Yeah, I did. I like what they set up and they approach. I just don't think they had enough meat on the bone, but that they presentation was pretty cool.
What was it called?
It was called ID at Xbox Game Pass. It's in the Google Hangout. If you go through our one we chat in all the time, it's up in there somewhere. You will see it.
Ooh, Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is coming to Game Pass. Ooh. Okay.
So
ID at Xbox.
Outer Wilds is that game that they spend a lot of time on.
Yeah.
I still don't even remember what it was.
I would say this too, man. It is pretty cool to see that something that Nintendo was clowned about has paved the way to be something that is a smart way of interacting with your fan base.
That's usually how it starts. There's always have to be somebody that takes all the hits, and then everybody says, "Oh yeah, that is a good idea," and then everybody acts like they just discovered something, and this person over here did it 10 years ago.
That was pretty cool. And I just wish Nintendo would kind of take Sony and Microsoft approach and borrow from their competition to fix their online service. Let's go to this EA topic. So, and this is interesting. EA has just laid off 8% of their workforce. 350. Is it 4? No, I got 8. I went straight to the article.
Yeah, no, I went to another article. It's they said it was 4%.
Okay, so the 8% is wrong.
8% they were saying is what Blizzard did. Blizzard did 8%.
Okay, well, 4% of their workforce, 300. I guess it totals to 350 people are being let go from marketing, publishing, and other departments. What do y'all think about this? What's going on with EA? Keith,
I don't know. Trying to save money. I don't know. I really didn't read much on this article. I mean, this topic. So I'm at to pass on this one.
Okay. D2K, you got any ideas or thoughts?
I don't know. Ask the question again because I kind of had a brain fart there.
I was saying EA with these layoffs, they laid off 4% of their workforce. It could be just too many workers, or it could be the evidence of something more, a bigger issue. So they laid off 350 workers in the publishing and marketing departments and other departments. So I'm asking, like, what do you think going on? Is this an issue, or this is just what do you think going on with it?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because there could be some internal issues going on with them why they have to lay off these people. It could be that revenue is down. It could be that it could be any number of reasons why they laid off that many people. I mean, typically you don't see this many people being laid off all at one time without there being the significant reason behind it. Things have not gone well for EA over the past year and a half. So, it could be a result of that, of them just not taking in money like they used to. And they're just cutting corners so people at the top can still pay for their luxury house in St. Croix.
K-Bomb.
Yeah, so I believe it's I feel like I don't want to sound rude, but I think it's business as usual. I think it's just business. We do have to remember that they completely lost all the expected revenue they were going to get from that Star Wars game.
Yeah.
They lost all the revenue from that because that game is canned and completely gone. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they did release people from that team as well. The what was the name of that team? I forget the name of the team. Same the Dead Space team.
Wow.
Oh, bro, dude, why would you do that? Hold up, I'll look it up. Go ahead.
But still, they lost money from that. Anthem has lost them money because their release was a terrible release. And Geronimo, but they already released people for that as well. So this is, if we look at the last 3 years, we see layoffs from EA.
Is it pandemic or visceral?
Yeah.
Visceral.
Visceral. Yeah. Those guys, they let people off from that team as well, and then scatter them out among the corporation. But the thing is, this is not anything to do with any developers.
Right.
No
I
developers
got
here.
my
We're
ideas.
we're done. To me, I do think that looking at what was laid off is this something that they could expand and they can trim off, trim the fat off without actually, impacting game development. Because none of this really impacts game development. And I'm trying to understand what publishing is.
But
If
I
that
just looked
has
it up. That's why I'm saying I got an interesting
if
take on
that
it.
has to do with physical games as far as publishing, then as in publishing the game in that manner, like in getting
It's the
CDs.
operation and business of activity of preparing something to sell.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes hand in hand with marketing, and that's where
Okay.
I'm thinking something went foul with what was the last game? Anthem. Anthem stumbled. What's the other one?
Or maybe they got an idea from Apex.
What you mean?
Well, there was no advertisement for Apex.
Well, I'm saying, but
there was no marketing for
right,
Apex
you're right.
Legends. None. And this game is right behind Fortnite with zero marketing. You know who they use to market their game? YouTubers.
Right. But
so to me, I'm thinking like that they saw the success of that and probably said, yeah, why do we need all of you guys if we can release a game the day of and still make buku money, and use our YouTubers as a cheaper way to promote our game? Like, what are you guys doing in marketing in? And maybe
that's a good thought. That's a good thought.
And then we just got through hearing Google basically saying the same thing about Stadia and how they would use that same aspect about getting games directly to that can basically making things smaller, putting the YouTube community, the gamers, and the developers all in the community together where they can communicate quickly. So
who paid someone $1 million or $500,000 to play their game?
$1 million. It was $1 million.
It was $1 million.
And it was EA.
It was EA. Wow.
It was EA with Apex Legends. It was Ninja.
And they paid Ninja. Okay, so I can see. Actually, K-Bum, I think you are correct. I just want to throw this out here. But I think what you said is probably the more likely. Could it also be that EA have, when it comes to marketing their titles, the last few games that they have put out there outside of Apex Legend have not landed. Anthem shouldn't be, Anthem, you would think Anthem would be doing better than it is, but it's not. And even when they first announced it and showed it and showcases what this would be with marketing and publishing, people didn't buy in. Now, it could be speaking more towards what people feel about EA than anything they marketing, but what people feel about the actual company. But they have been failing the last, outside of Apex Legends, they had a lot of duds or games that should have done better than they done. Could that also be a play? But I think what you said is right. I don't even think I need to make my point. You made an excellent point, man. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
You made a real good point.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, that was a good observation. Because now I'm looking at it, they paid this man $1 million to play their game, and that game became overnight success. So if I could pay Ninja,
good Lord, that's a lot of money.
if I could pay Ninja and PewDiePie and Angry Joe and all these cats,
Stone Mountain 64, that's my boy.
Right.
I like him.
Like, why do I need these cats? I got all the marketing I need right there. You're right, K-Bum the Exit. That's a good observation right there, man. That's a good point. Hey, man, let me do this right here. So let's move on to this. Do y'all got anything else to add to this particular topic?
No.
So let's move on. So we got a report out of the Wall Street Journal about a rumor, but they saying they have experienced it. They trusting their sources that a Switch Pro and a Switch Mini is a real thing, and they might be released this summer or at least within this year. So the first thing I want to ask, do you buy this story? Do you believe it? Just all three y'all can answer it on your own. D2K, do you believe the rumor is a reality?
I've always maintained that Nintendo will release a revision for the Switch. They've done that with every portable console they've made since 1980. It's not a new thing for them to release a revision of their portable console.
Right.
The question is whether or not this portable console is going to be, quote unquote, double the power of the PlayStation 4, as certain other YouTubers are claiming it will be.
Man, we're not talking about them, D2K. Stop, man.
You know,
we're not having that. We're not having the Upa Metal Dave talk. That's
but that's the thing is that it's not just him. I mean, there's a whole lot of other people that are basically running with this narrative of saying that it's going to be at a certain power level where there's no information at all in that Wall Street Journal report that talks about the power in any way, shape, or form.
Well, matter of fact, they said the opposite. There have been information that's come out that said it's more like what the new 3DS was to the 3DS.
Exactly, and that's my whole point. Every single time, oh my god! I mean, this goes all the way back to the original Nintendo DS. You had a DS Lite, but then you had a DSi, and the DSi had a somewhat more capable processor in it than the original DS did. So some games took advantage of it, most of them didn't. And then you have the DS, and then you had the new 3DS, which had a little bit faster processor and a little bit more RAM. Again, some games took advantage of it, some games don't. But it's an infinitesimal upgrade in power. It's not something that's going to be a game changer. Now, even in the best of circumstances, let's just say for the sake of argument that the Switch Pro exists and it is as powerful as a PlayStation 4. Where does that get you in the long term? Because I've heard on this show many times rave reviews about the graphics of the Switch and how games on the Switch look almost as good as games on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So why am I going to spend $300 on or more on another console just so the graphics could be a little bit better?
We're gonna have I want to have that conversation, but before we get there, let me get these other two take on. Keith, do you believe there's a Switch Pro and Switch Mini out there?
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay. K-Bomb. Okay,
yes, I do believe that.
I do too.
I do believe there's something. I don't know about Switch Mini or I believe there's something out there.
I believe this report. I believe, like D2K articulated, this is Nintendo's norm. This is, and why would we expect them to change with it when they got a device that is basically feeling they handheld. It's really acting like a handheld, even though it can play as a home console. It's more like a handheld, and they treating it kind of more like a handheld. So, they're gonna have a variation of it, a revision of it. So, I believe this is true. Whether this rumor itself is true, we know they got a Switch improvement coming. So, let's go with what D2K was saying, because I want to put some emphasis and focus on the Mini. I don't want to put all our focus on the Pro. Mm-hmm. But with what you said, I don't believe the Super Metal Dave and the Gamer Review Tech USA and all them. I don't believe the Switch is finna be this super extremely extravagant, powerful system. I think it's going to be exactly what we heard. It's going to be a casual upgrade to what is currently there. So your question is, if we as Nintendo fans are not big or on graphics, or graphics are not important to us, what would be the point of buying a Switch Pro if you already have the current OG Switch, right?
Well, no, more or less that if you are already satisfied with your Switch, if you're already satisfied with the visuals, obviously it could be better, but I don't hear anybody complaining about the gameplay of Breath of the Wild or Mario 3D, Mario Odyssey, or any of the great games that are on the Switch that people have said have been great. People say, yeah, the frame rate drops here. Yeah, the resolution could be better here. But overall, that has no real effect on the gameplay experience of the games on the Switch. So having it, being able to play it in 1080p, 60 frames per second, solid, or possibly upscale it to at least 4K, 30 frames per second on the 4K TV, yeah, that would be nice. But I mean, you know, I guess it's really the individual. For me, it wouldn't be worth it, because I was talking to Keith in the chat. One of the reasons why I've never bought an Xbox One X is because I'm fine with the graphics of the Xbox One. I know that they're not good as a PlayStation 4, but it doesn't matter because I don't need them to be super high tech graphics. And if I really want to go there, I have a PC for that. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I'm with you.
So, you know, I mean, for someone who doesn't own the Switch at all, that makes sense for you to go out and buy the most powerful version. If you don't own the Xbox at all, it makes sense for you to buy the X. If you don't have a PlayStation at all, it makes sense to buy the Pro. You know, why would you go backwards to buy the inferior model unless you don't have the money to buy the more souped up models? But if you already own this, and from a Nintendo fan standpoint, you should be thinking about it like this. We should have had a console on the level of the PlayStation 4 in 2012. And we're paying $300 for a console that's not even as powerful as the PlayStation 4 in 2017. And now they're going to ask us again to spend at least that much or more so we can still have what we should have had in 2012. I don't get it.
Okay. Who want to come in after that? Keith? Any follow up? You muted if you're talking.
I actually had to step away, so I didn't even catch what D2K said. I apologize.
Okay, say it again, D2.
I don't know if I could deliver it the same way.
No, you won't be able to catch how you delivered it, but basically said he don't understand how in 2017 we got a system that we should have got in 2012, and they charged us $299, and now we're going to get a system if this is true, we're going to get a system in 2019 that still is basically the system we still got in 2012 also, and it's probably going to be $299 or even more, and we still won't be at what Sony and Microsoft gave us in 2012. Is it really worth it? Does it make sense?
Gotcha. Is it really worth it? Does it make sense? I mean, it's worth it, but are people gonna go out and buy it? I'll invest because I would have loved to experience these Nintendo games in higher frames and resolution and things like that. I'll be honest about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it and be like, oh, I like it the way it is. I'm cool with the way it is, but if you offer me something better, I want that. I'm not complaining now, but I'll take the new. But is it worth it? Nah, it's never worth it. Even when I look at I got a PlayStation 4 Slim, and I got to get out of here when I say this. I got a PlayStation 4 Slim, and I have a 4K TV, but I don't really necessarily need a 4K. I mean, the PlayStation 4 Pro. So I understand what he's saying, but I'm also not invested in Sony like that. Like
Right.
I'm cool. I'm cool with what the 1080p, 30 frames or 60 frames per second I get with these games. Like I was always cool with 1080p. Even on my PC, I was cool with 1080p. 4K, I still haven't saw the justification for it. But if you can bump up, if they can give me a Switch Pro and they can bump it up to 1080p across the board, I want that.
Before you go, Keith, what's your thoughts on the Mini? Do you feel like that's worth it? Do you feel like that's a smart move from Nintendo if it's true?
And this
Switch Mini.
And this is the one that's like all together. Was that the rumor?
This is the one. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
it's all together. I caught what you said. Yeah.
I don't see the point. Why not just the regular Switch? Just be the Mini now.
I think the idea with the Mini is going to be targeting kids. They probably going to make it drop proof. Maybe put a different screen on it, cheaper, so you ain't got to worry about. Because I don't want my kids touching my Switch. I'm sorry. Like, don't you put even a spiritual finger on my Switch. Because I don't want y'all breaking nothing. That screen is glass. I don't want y'all tearing up nothing. I came in my front room and my daughter had my Switch in her hand, and I had a conniption. I had an outer body experience. I literally saw you remember in Doctor Strange when the master pushed his body out of the. I had that literally happen. Like I saw myself snatching the soul out of my. So I think the Mini, while I still feel like it's like Keith, I'm puzzled, but I understand if they do these type of things, I'm with it. But at the same time, I'm not understanding. I would rather them put all their money in a Pro and keep the regular Switch for those who want that, rather than because it goes back to what D2K is saying. If the Switch Pro is nothing but a step up like the new 3DS to the 3DS, I might get it because I'm like Keith. I'm invested in Nintendo, and if I can get a better experience, even if it's slightly better, I would probably be willing to invest. But I won't say I feel like it's worth it. But I understand the Mini idea, but I would rather them put all their focus on making a nice Pro, and then let the older model be cheaper, and then you can get that to the kids. Yeah. That's my thoughts on it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we were talking about this.
I gotta get out, guys.
All right.
We'll see you later, Keith. Yeah, well, me and Keith were talking about this in the group chat. I suggested that they make the Switch Mini backwards compatible with the 3DS. If you're gonna make this cater towards kids, you make this backwards compatible with the 3DS. That way, you can play your Switch games and your 3DS games on the same device.
Oh, so make the 3DS games able to be played on the Switch.
Exactly. That would sell like hotcakes.
Then you're gonna run into the problem of folks who got the Switch. Like, why you didn't do that for the Switch?
They're gonna be pissed anyway. Either way it goes. It doesn't. I mean, there's no way you get out of this without somebody being angry. So might as well just do what you got to do. And for me, that would make the most sense, since you want to cater the Switch Mini to the kids anyway. To just go ahead and make it for the kids, make it 3DS backwards compatible, and that way they can play all their 3DS games on it, and they can play Switch games on it. It'd be more durable, like you said, probably more like the 2DS, where it's more sturdy, so drop proof and stuff like that. Yeah. And that will sell. Most definitely.
Right. K-Bum, you ain't said anything before we get out of here, man. You got anything you want to add to this topic?
But we got smashed.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself. It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
I thought I had it on there.
So to D2K's point, for the Nintendo fans who are satisfied with the graphics because I know I'm considered a graphics whore when it comes to my need of the pro and everything else, and my pixels.
I don't believe that. I ain't never took you as a horror of graphics.
Oh, I love graphics. I love. No, you've heard me talk about. I've talked about liking to see the sweat.
I think hip hop gamers are graphics horror. I think you like graphics. I
love graphics, man. I love graphics, and so
yeah.
And
but
so
horror, that's extreme. I know I'm just getting a chance to say horror a lot. I'm just go ahead. You didn't catch it. You didn't catch none of that.
I didn't catch none of that, bro.
I was like just messing that up like all over the place. Go ahead, man.
You just let that loose. Anyway, but because what we hear about Nintendo is always we don't care about graphics. Then if we don't care about graphics, what's the point of a more powerful system?
Let me give you the same explanation I gave to D2K when he said the same thing. I think you were taking that statement out of context. When we say we don't care about graphics, we're not saying that graphics are not important. We're saying graphics is not the most important aspect of the game to us. Don't give me a beautiful game and the game itself sucks. Then it's just a beautiful trash.
I understand. I understand that fact. I personally understand that fact. But that argument is used to devalue games that look good.
It becomes a fox and the grapes type argument from a lot of Nintendo fans.
Okay, bro. You gonna have to explain that, bro.
I'm about to use that in the message.
That's one of those Aesop fables where the fox, he's hungry, he's thirsty, and he sees a bushel of grapes sitting on top of a branch. He tries to jump up and grab them, but he can't reach it. He's too short. He tries just jumping up, snapping at the grapes for like hours and hours. He can't get the grapes, and finally he just give up and walk away. And he's like, you know what? I ain't want those grapes anyway. They probably sour, probably taste nasty, probably got worms in them too. And that's pretty much what Nintendo fans have done. Some, not all, probably majority. But
okay, I got that.
But they because that option is not there.
Yeah,
they say that graphics are not important. The most important thing is gameplay. But whenever the option seems like it's going to be there, which is the case with the Switch Pro, now you have people saying, "Oh, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened. I can't wait to see such and such a game in PS4 level graphics." I'm literally reading these statements in the comments section on many YouTube channels.
True, that's true. You're right. And you know what? When you explain that, there's a lot of truth to that statement. I will also say there's also, when we also say what we say, we also saying that sometimes when it comes to Sony gamers, they would be ecstatic about the graphics when they know the game ain't any good, but they'll still be happy and excited about it and praise it strictly because it looks good.
Absolutely.
So I think both are true, but I like that fox and the grape, and you're right. Nintendo fans do, because they know it ain't coming our way, tend to act like we didn't want it anyway. That's our way. That's the way of coping with the fact that you knew you ain't getting it, so you pretend you don't want it. That's a truth. That's a true statement. Point. That was a good point. So, but with that being said, if this is true, I hope that it's not. I hope it's more than just a new Switch, like the new 3DS 2, the 3DS. I hope it's more than that. Does it have to be PlayStation Pro leap? No, but it should be a bigger leap than just than what the new was to the 3DS. I think that'd be. I think they should just make a mini and don't do the Pro. That's my opinion. But if they fixing things that they couldn't gamble on fixing when they made the Switch, and that's why they doing this to stabilize stuff and make stuff the frames better and things like that. As long as they don't try to charge you another $100 for that stabilization and that improvement, like if they can keep it still at $299 and mark down the original Switch, I'm okay with that, and let it replace the original Switch or something like that. Discontinue the original Switch and start selling this in place of the original Switch.
Because remember, we let people keep forgetting about that whole exploit that's in the Tegra chips. So they have to get that off the shelf anyway because they don't want all these homebrewers to be tearing it up.
Absolutely.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Discontinue it when you get it done. If that's what the improvement is, then discontinue the original Switch far as selling it and put this Switch in its place. I'm more for that and a mini than to have 3 different variations of Switches out there to be bought. To me, that'd be pointless. If the improvement is addressing what you said, D2K. But we'll see. It's just rumors. We don't know. Right now, it is what it is. Any other thoughts before we get out of here?
No, that's it for me. I think we covered.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you guys sign out. I'm glad that y'all all tuned in, but K-Bum, go ahead and sign out, man.
No problem, man. I guess I apologize for the connection issues. I don't know why I was cutting in and out on my end. Hopefully I can get that resolved for the next podcast. But anyway, enjoying the conversations about Spider-Man. Like I said, I could do a whole hour-long segment about that because I've been reading up on it, man. Just learning a little bit more about how they did things and about the music and the animation.
The music was amazing, man.
Yeah, the music was spot on, man. It was. I've actually watched that. The one video when he actually finds out, he can do this at Miles.
Mm-hmm.
That little 2-minute segment, I watched that like 10 times.
I like when Biggie Smalls music came on.
Yeah,
that just fits in some of my what is that? Hypnotized, I think. That my spine tingled, man. Then when he walked up on the roof when he's about to see if he's gonna jump off, and then next thing you know, he walking back. We rewinded that. I might go up there and watch that movie again. But
I watched it several times, man. Just like I said, I can talk about that. Even the soundtrack. I know the video game Herd talked about the soundtrack when it first came out, so I've actually sat down and listened to the soundtrack. And I mean, it fits the movie.
Yeah,
I thought I did a great job of them integrating the soundtrack of the actual movie into the movie. I thought they did a great job with that. And so I give it all thumbs up.
Is this the best?
So I enjoy talking about it.
Before I get to DTK, well, he ain't gonna say anything, so I'll try out for DTK. So, is this the best Spider-Man movie out of all Spider-Man?
Without question.
Do you see a part 2 coming to this?
Absolutely. You saw the end of it, right?
Yeah.
That's the after credit. As the after credit stuff.
Is there after credit?
Oh, bro, yeah.
I gotta go back up there and watch it.
Yeah, bro, it's some after credit stuff that kind of tells you about the next one.
No, I didn't. If I did, I don't remember.
Yeah, it tells you about the next one. Yeah, it's going to be a 2.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, man, it was amazing. Do you feel like because they had? I don't want to start up another conversation, but let me ask this when we get out of here. Do you feel like because it's animated, they were able to achieve a better?
Yes.
Because okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So with that said,
I did like they make fun of themselves too. They made fun of the originals.
Oh yeah.
When he did the dancing Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, that was hilarious.
Even down to when the scene where he was holding the 2 trains was from the second Spider-Man,
and even when he punched the car was also from Doc.
Yeah, Ock. You're right. Yep. So it was a lot of homage being paid to the actual movies, the real life movie, or movie to life versions. But anyway, with that being said, we talk about Enter the Spider-Verse again. We give it more time. I apologize.
Into the Spider-Verse. It's not.
I thought you said it was Enter.
No,
Into.
Yes.
Into the Spider-Verse. My bad.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
And I apologize for my mic issues. We had a lot of technical difficulties this podcast, so it kind of threw off our vibe a little bit. But we have it together the next time. But until then, stay safe and stay gaming. This was the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends, and hit the thumbs up. And leave some comments outside of the live chat. Till next time, deuces.